Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautostore.com. I'd like to share with you another update. This is the 1968 Pontiac Firebird convertible, the Pro Street car. In earlier videos we were sharing with you where we had some concerns in the front end. In the latest video we were talking about and sharing with you all the work that was performed on the driver's side of the rocker panel, both doing the inner, the outer, and the support pieces. And now after a few days, happy to show you we now have all of the similar type of work we did on the driver's side completed on this passenger side. So you can see we have, once again, we have the original rocker panel for the passenger side here on the floor. And just like the other rocker where they had a bunch of repairs done, you can see where this is it's all hollow and separated. And then there's a couple of spot welds, and once the guys pull the spot welds out, it's just nothing but rot. I think you can probably see it through this end maybe. Sorry, the lighting might not be the best. But the rocker panel, if you look inside, there's just not a whole lot. Just metal and patches on top of patches, basically. So no structural strength or support or integrity whatsoever. So that was the main reason why. I can flip it over and show you, but it's just the same as it was on the driver's side. They have some patches that they welded over top, and then they've got this little speed nut here that they've welded on a little bit of an angle, and that's supposed to be a support for a seat belt. So, and there's a little bracket that was bubble gum welded on there, and you can see where we had drilled out all of those holes. So basically with all these little patches on top of patches, that really wasn't going to work, and there wasn't a whole lot of structural strength there. So now you can see, once again, same idea without boring you too much. We've got the bracing piece still in here. We had the main braces going down both sides and across. So we know that the opening is exactly where it's supposed to be. And with it all braced and supported, that's when they cut out and drilled out the old and then placed in the new, took several measurements. So now you can see we even have this outer gusset on, and hopefully it'll show up in the camera. You have all of those original spot welds that were drilled out on that cover plate, and it's very important, in my opinion, to do the very same thing the factory did, because we want to make sure we have the same, because they did crash standards, so they knew how many spot welds it needed to go between this gusset and the outer rocker. So we've replicated the exact same thing. Some guys along this top seam here would just do little dabs of welds in spots. We've got it solid all the way across. Same thing on the support piece on the inside. So you can see, without getting too crazy, I don't want to bore you too much, but this is a lot of work. So you can see here where they have the roll bar and that plate, the angle wasn't quite right. So the guys had to modify that angle. And then once they had it all right, they've got it welded, and it's completely welded all the way around. It's not just tack welded in one corner and the other corner. It's solid along the bottom, the sides, and the top. They changed the angle here a little bit to make sure that it was square, because this support piece where your suspension's going, you can see this is a main rail. Wanted to make sure that that was perfectly square. And then we have our inner rocker welded in place. And then just like the other side, you can see all the way across here, we have that new piece that the guys made. Once again, lots of welds, lots of penetration, solid across the top to give us more strength. And then where that little screw is sitting, that top plate, they've made that's thicker metal, and then that'll be enclosed solid, but for now they've got it welded just like the factory did with the replacement piece along the top. So that looks really nice. And as we go over to the firewall area and the toe area, that tubing is new. The angle is made correctly. I think I'm going to get out of the way of the camera person. I think I can go through this side. So you can see the welds all along here. Hopefully it shows up. Very well done there. We made sure that the angle, the cutting, which is very tricky to do, we made a pattern of it first for this piece of tubing. So this is a brand new piece of tubing. It's thicker metal. And then it's welded solid all the way around for structural integrity. Same thing going around here and also the bottom. So it's all the way 360 welded to this nice frame and into there. Excuse me. So then in the front, as we come along, so you can see all that's done there. And in the front, where they had all these little pieces of tin that were kind of spot welded together. They've changed locations of some items. There was a lot of wiring that was going through here, through the pocket and down by this lower firewall. We removed all the wiring, kind of tidied up safe out of the way, and then we have our new extension here now. So in the original car, they cut that off, and this is a fastening point that's important for the inner and outer fenders. We're going to have to figure out what to do with the firewalls because they've modified so much. The main thing is the wiper motor they relocated with no real plan on how to get the wipers to work. And then we've got some wiring that's just coming through the wrong locations. But now that that rocker panel is done on the passenger side, we've got all the structure that we need for the body. We know everything is true and square. So we're quite happy the way that's going. So our next step, what we'll do is we're going to install the doors and adjust the doors properly. And then we're going to start dry fitting the front. So we've got our new inner fenders. We have our used donor fenders just for the mock-up. And then we'll have our new rad support. So what we'll do is we'll install the doors. We'll do a mock-up of the body in the front with the rad support. And then we'll get everything lined up where it should be. So we're back to our correct wheelbase. And then we'll do our custom suspension shortly thereafter. So this is the 1968 Pontiac Firebird convertible Pro Street. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.